me drink your drink.
Okay, before we dive into figuring out what the right answer to this is, one of the take-homes from a picture like this is, I think one of the ways you need to be studying is with those flashcards where it's the picture of the muscle on the front and everything about the muscle on the back. Now, I've said to some of y'all in smaller groups, I don't think that's the exclusive way you should be studying muscles, because I also think separate from that, you need to be studying what are the shoulder extensors and be able to rattle those off. Where does the, whatever muscle this is, originate and insert and rattle that off. So, but you are gonna have some questions where it's a combination of that information. So, do you want to say that first? Let's just go through these one at a time. So what muscle is that? Latissimus dorsi. So at some point in your studying, you would have gone over like what's the origin and insertion of the latissimus dorsi. And fortunately, if I give you the picture, you can't always see exactly what the origin insertion is, but you can sometimes eliminate things based on the picture. Well, clearly that didn't come from the coracoid kind of talk that you're having to yourself. And you, based on just the picture, that should also help you either have an idea in mind about action or at least eliminate some things about action. And in particular for item A, there's a reason why, even if you did not know that was the latissimus dorsi, item A should have been something you can eliminate, because the first right out of the gate thing it says is that this is a shoulder flexor. Where would a muscle have to come from to grab the humerus and pull it forward? It would have to come from the front. If a muscle is gonna pull your humerus into flexion, so you gotta make sure you're seeing that flexion is forward, then it would have had to come from the front, and this muscle comes from behind them. So this muscle, if it were gonna pull your arm somewhere, it would pull it backwards, not forwards. So it can't be a flexor. This is an extensor. And then if you've been studying and you're using all my little helpful tips, an image of a roll of toilet paper might come to mind, because this is one of the two muscles that gets your arm in the right position to put that toilet paper to work. So it does what three things? Extension, internal rotation, and adduction, because we need that toilet paper to line up right where it's supposed to be. So it's extension, not flexion. This one's okay, but it does medial rotation, not lateral rotation. So A's out of there. What's wrong with B right away?
It's not scapular.
There are only 5 scapular muscles that move the scapula, and this is not one of them. It doesn't attach to the scapula. Like, I can see his scapula, or her, or whoever, and that red muscle doesn't touch those scapula. It's not a scapular muscle. It's gone. What do we think about C?
Yeah.
That's the right answer. We'll come back to it in a minute. What's wrong with D?
Thoracodorsal.
It's the thoracodorsal nerve, not the long thoracic nerve. So you might have gotten to the point where you were kind of toggling between those last two. But even so, a 50-50 chance at getting the right answer on a question is better than a 25% chance of getting the right answer. So don't freak out. Use what you can tell based on the picture and get some of these out of here. Eliminate the ones that cannot be right. And then at least you've got a 50-50 chance. But this one does insert on the bicipital root.